Then all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and said, Behold, we are your bone and your flesh. In times past, when Saul was king over us, it was you who led out and brought in Israel. And the Lord told you, You shall feed my people Israel and be prince over them. So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and King David made a covenant with them there before the Lord, and they anointed him king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began his 40-year reign. In Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months, and in Jerusalem, he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem against the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, who said to David, You shall not enter here, for the blind and the lame will prevent you. They thought, David cannot come in here. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, that is, the city of David. David said on that day, Whoever smites the Jebusite, let him get up through the water shaft and smite the lame and the blind, or detested by David's soul. So they say, the blind and the lame shall not come into the house. So David dwelt in the stronghold and called it the city of David, and he built round about from the Millo and inward. David became greater and greater, for the Lord God of hosts was with him. Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David and set out trees, carpenters, and masons, and they built David's house. And David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. And David took more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he came from Hebron, and other sons and daughters were born to him. And these are the names of those who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elisha, Nepheg, Shaphiah, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphelet. When the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over Israel, they all went up to find him. But he heard of it and went down to the stronghold. The Philistines also came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. David inquired of the Lord, saying, "Shall I go up against the Philistines? Will you deliver them into my hand?" And the Lord said to David, "Go up, for I will surely deliver them into your hand." And David came to Baal Perazim, and he smote them there and said, "The Lord has broken through my enemies before me, like the bursting out of great waters." So he called the name of that place Baal Perazim, Lord of breaking through. There the Philistines left their images and David and his men took them away. The Philistines came up again and spread themselves out in the valley of Rephaim. When David inquired of the Lord, he said, "You shall not go up, but go around behind them and come upon them over opposite the mulberry or balsam trees. And when you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the mulberry trees, then bestir yourselves, for then has the Lord gone out before you to smite the army of the Philistines." And David did as the Lord had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Geba to Gezer. Hi, precious Miss Cruel. Thank you so much. God bless you. I love you in Jesus. Hi, precious Rudra. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. God bless you, brother. 안녕하세요. 소중한 찌다카님. 오늘도 감사합니다. 그리고 소중한 대구 직할시 청년님. 감사합니다. 사랑해요. Thank you so much. 사와디캅. precious Rudra. Thank you so much. Do you have any Bible verse you would like to read? I don't know what it is. Sorry. I only know Sawadika. That's all I know. Sri Ratna is queen. Sister of Korea. We used to have a king and queen back in old times, like Thailand, but 조상의 전설. But now we have a president. Yeah, we used to have a queen or a king. Thank you, Rudra brother. I'll continue to read chapter 6. If you don't have any specific verse you like to read, 무슨 말인지 모르겠다. 타밀나두 두비시. Sorry, I can't understand. I will read the Bible. Chapter 6. David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And he arose and went with all the people who were with him to Baal Judah, Kiriath-jearim, to bring up from there the ark of God, which is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, who sits enthroned above the cherubim. And they set the ark of God upon a new cart and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill. And Uzzah and Ahio, sons of Abinadab, drove the new cart, and they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill, with the ark of God. And Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord with all their might, with songs, lyres, harps, tambourines, castanets, and cymbals. And when they came to Nechan's threshing floor, Uzzah put out his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen stumbled and shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God smote him there for touching the ark, and he died there by the ark of God. David was grieved and offended because the Lord had broken forth upon Uzzah, and that place is called Perez Uzzah, the breaking forth upon Uzzah to this day. David was afraid of the Lord that day and said, "How can the ark of the Lord come to me?" So David was not willing to take the ark of the Lord to him into the city of David, but he took it aside into the house of Obed-edom the Gittite, and the ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-edom the Gittite for 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. And it was told King David, the Lord has blessed the house of Obed-Edom, and all that belongs to him because of the ark of God. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David with rejoicing. And when those who bore the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed an ox and a fatling, and David danced before the Lord with all his might, clad in a linen ephod, a priest's upper garment. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet. As the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, David's wife, looked out of the window and saw King David leaping and dancing and before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. They brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in its place inside the tent which David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. When David had finished offering the burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name and presence of the Lord of hosts, and distributed among all the people the whole multitude of Israel, both to men and women, to each a cake of bread, a portion of meat, and a cake of raisins. So all the people departed, each to his house. Then David returned to bless his household, and his wife Michal, daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, "How glorious was the King of Israel today, who stripped himself of his kingly robes and uncovered himself in the eyes of his servant maids, as one of the worthless fellows shamelessly uncovers himself. David said to Michal, "It was before the Lord who chose me above your father and all his house to appoint me as prince over Israel, the people of the Lord. Therefore will I make merry in pure enjoyment before the Lord. I will be still more lightly esteemed than this, and will humble and lower myself in my own sight and yours. But by the maids you mentioned, I will be held in honor." And Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child to the day of her death. Hi, precious Catherine Damour. Thank you so much. God bless you. Hope you have a blessed day, precious Rudra and everyone. Thank you so much for sharing this precious time together. May God's peace and His love and blessings be with you always, and wishing everyone a peaceful, blessed night. God bless you. I love you in Jesus. Thank you so much.